I can hear a humming noise. Hello, Professor.
Hello.
Hello.
How awfully nice to see you again, Fairy. How marvellous.
Oh, aye.
Send your eyes really funny.
They
that does.
do. What are you up to this morning?
I'm having a wonderful morning.
Are you?
Looking at some of the artefacts, the spoils that I've brought back from little trips to the far distant past.
Ooh.
Here in God's Acre, here in the British
Lovely.
Isles. And
So what's this then?
well, I've got here an array, really. You can see pieces of antler. Deer, memorabilia.
Memorabilia.
Now, deer is a wonderful creature. We're naturally evolved as humans to follow the herds of deer.
Yes,
And
of course.
venison, deer meat, which of course is free, although it's deer.
fantastic.
Sorry, that was my attempt at wit. Because as you know, I'm halfway to being a wit. No, the thing is about venison, deer meat, is that when you eat deer meat, you are better fed and you feel better fed.
That is true.
Quicker.
That is absolutely
It's
true.
so satisfying
It
as
is.
a meat.
Yeah.
Of course, it's not farmed. The wild deer, the stag, after he's done his job in the autumn and all the does are expecting babies in the spring,
Yes.
then you hunt him and he's wide awake and full of beans and frisky 1 minute, and next minute, bang, he's dead.
Yeah.
No live animal exports, no cruelty,
Yeah.
no farming, no
Wild-
nonsense.
Just wild meat.
Wild meat.
Yeah.
Wonderful, given you by the gods. Not only meat though, because of course, as you'll see, I'm holding here a
Yes.
very witty little piece of cave art, as we
Oh.
call it. A portable art tablet.
Oh.
Not a tablet to take to cure your lack of artistic satisfaction, but it's sort of is a pill in a way. When you look at this, if I turn it round, you'll see that what we've got here
Oh.
is a very clever little head of a rhinoceros. Can you see it?
Oh, it is. It's got the horn. Oh, yes, it's got the horn at the front and that ear going back.
Yeah.
And a little eye.
Well, the eye, of course, is just you stick your finger in the embers of the fire and make a little black dot there.
Well, how clever.
And what you've got is a rhinoceros head,
Well, how
which,
fantastic. Yes, of course.
which is given you by the gods. It's a piece of antler. I'll show you in a minute where it comes from. But someone has sat there in the past and thought, "Oi, that looks a bit like that rhinoceros we had for breakfast." And here, right in the middle of England, thousands of years ago, in the Ice Age, there were woolly rhinos. And I've handled an original woolly rhino head in Northampton Museum. It's fossil now, weighs a ton,
yes.
but it's original skull of a woolly rhino
Good gracious.
that was dug out of Billing gravel pit.
Good
And they were
heavens.
digging out the gravel measures at the end of so that was a terminal moraine many thousands of years ago at the end of a melting glacier as the ice retreated and the rhinoceroses moved in to gather the scant grass that they ate. They needed the woolly coat that they
I
had.
bet they did.
So there's a...
Well, I love that.
It's just great, I
That's-
think.
what
I bet you
fun.
children had these and bashed them together and perhaps made a shadow show. Should we just look, see if we can make
Oh,
a bit of a
yes.
shadow show?
That
You
would
see-
be
You
perfect.
see a shadow show there?
Make him eat.
You see the shadow of the rhino?
It's perfect, Professor.
So, anyway, on this happy note, let's move on. I've got here some other antlers. This is a cast antler. At this time of year, the stags are fighting each other for territory and for more and more of the females as their
Yes.
wives. So there's loads of strong babies. Only the strongest stags are allowed to mate by the gods. And so they bash each other and they fight. And you hear this noise. You
Yes.
hear this noise in the autumn.
I have heard that,
It's
actually.
I think it is what I call a cracking sound.
It's in more ways than one.
They lock antlers together and then
Yes.
they push.
Yes.
And the strongest, toughest, most muscular one
Yes.
pushes the weedy one away, and it runs off going, "Oh no, no love for me this winter." After they're finished with them, because they're getting broken, you can see this one here is broken.
Yes.
And it's been chewed by a silly, I don't know what, hedgehog or something. Because they get broken when they fight with them, they drop off. And the stag has to grow a set of these out of his head every year, a new set.
Gracious.
They drop off and he grows a new set. This one is one that's been dropped off.
So what's that?
That thing
base?
there is called the Coronel.
Okay.
That is where the actual thing was originally joined to the head of the stag. You've got one each side, you see.
Of course.
But when he's broken them and he's fought with them, he has to grow a new set for next year. In fact, it's the fastest growing mammalian tissue.
Good gracious.
So it's like you growing a set of teeth and having them all knocked out every year and growing a new set.
Good
But these
gracious.
are much faster growing because they're much bigger than teeth and they grow out of the head of the stag.
Yeah.
Originally, when they first grow, they're covered in fine velvet, stag's velvet.
I have seen that
And
actually.
they rub it off.
yes.
It drives them mad. It itches. And they rub it off and that strengthens the bond. It's just so great.
It's wonderful.
Aren't the gods wonderful how they think these things up?
Mother Nature, eh?
But then, as I say, they drop off. This is one I picked up this autumn in the last autumn in the ready for the rut in the woods. So they're free. They don't cost you anything. If you cut that one off and that one off, you've not only got two spikes that you can use to make spearheads or back scratchers or whatever you want, or
Yeah.
nose pickers or
Oh.
ear probes. Well, why not?
Why not, indeed?
You might need something to scratch the inside of your ear. Cotton buds weren't invented then, you know. And also what you've got here then is a pickaxe.
Oh, of course you have. Yes,
And
what
the
a useful
greatest
tool.
monuments, that you find in the British Isles, Silbury Hill, the great ditches at Avebury and Stonehenge, these massive monuments taking millions of man-hours to complete, were dug with antler picks.
Isn't it phenomenal?
It's
isn't it?
absolutely
Think
incredible.
about it.
Our ancestors must have had a lot of time on their hands
Yes.
in order to make these fantastic things, because nobody was paying them to do it. There was no money. And the people that did these massive jobs, in the Neolithic and the Bronze Age and the Late Stone Age, they had to be fed, they had to be clothed, they had to be shod. It was all an incredible undertaking. So they'd got their farming squared away, or their hunting. So here, talking about clothes, this is a deer skin. You can see the front legs here. This is what happened to Bambi's mum.
Oh, it's a hard life. A
Bambi's
short
mum.
life, but a
It's
merry
actually
one.
the most popular screen death.
Oh, is it?
It is.
You never
And
see
you
it,
don't
though.
see it. No, it happens off screen.
Look at that lovely fur.
Well,
there.
it's lovely.
Beautiful.
If I pull some out, look, if you want, look, if I pull some out, this stuff,
Oh, it's
it makes
molts
super
like crazy.
paintbrushes. You can make paintbrushes out of this. If you just roll it up, look,
Yes.
you've got a paintbrush.
Oh, yes,
And the
of
beautiful
course.
Kate, I don't know, shaving brush. They did shave. There's pictures that they drew
Yes.
of clean-shaven professors in prehistory professors with clean-shaven.
Shaven.
So they must have had stone razors to shave themselves.
Yes.
Look, I've got another one here which I've brought back from one of my Paleolithic ponderings. And this one, if you can come in, it's another cast antler.
Yes.
So it's another one that's dropped off the Coronel there. You can tell it's dropped off because it's not been sawn off.
Ah, yes.
I'll just show you, this is a much more modern one. This is a Saxon knife, and you can see that this one's been cut
Oh,
off.
I can see the difference there.
You see,
Yes.
that was cut off a deer that had been shot.
Yes.
You see, just before we look at that painted one, let me just show you this. This is one that I brought back from the Saxon period, and that spike there, you can see, has been cut off
look.
from this very antler. So you see, you've got 2 knife handles there out of 1 antler.
That's great, isn't it?
So just out of interest, you know, it was used for thousands of years, and really good quality carving knives nowadays have got antler handles still.
Yes.
If you visit lovely places like Hokum Hall, you can buy a deer antler handled.
Of course, from their herds of deer.
Yeah, from their herds of deer as a souvenir. But the gods give you them free. This is one that some ancient person picked up. You can see this has got a broken tip there, so it had to fall off and be regrown in just 6 months. So there's where it fell off. But you can see it's got shamanic art on it. Can you get close enough for that?
Can.
And can you see all these little dots? Now, we don't know what this means, but look, it may be a map. We don't know. It could say you have to go for, I don't know what, so many days, and there's a night, and then there's a few more days to the place where you'll meet with the best deer herd.
Wow.
With loads of, look, Bambis.
Lots of Bambis.
Loads
Thundering
of Bambi's mums.
They are thundering across that, looks
Tundra,
like a
probably.
snowy plain.
Arctic tundra, I would think.
Yes.
Arctic tundra, somewhere in Northamptonshire, but thousands of years ago. So you see, what we're saying is, you know, portable art.
Portable art.
This is the stuff that rots away, so you don't get much of it in your time. You're very lucky to find a piece of portable art. But if you travel back in time, like Professor and Fairy Wife do, you can actually pick them up and you can trade for them. I gave quite a good price for this. I'm pleased to say it was 2 iron knives, which will help that person considerably because iron wasn't invented then, and it will also confuse the archaeologists, which I love to do.
Well, Professor, on that
There's
note
nothing
of
much more
confusion,
fun than a confused archaeologist. No, don't go just yet, just one moment. Okie doke. Well, look, you've got to go.
I've got to go,
well,
Professor.
for
But
now
I will
then.
be back very shortly.
Lovely. More to talk about.
More to talk about. Bye.